Hey y'all, so really quickly, I wanted to make this video really fast because as I was boarding my flight today, I was literally just, worshiping, and the Holy Spirit hit me with something, and he said, adjust. I know you have plans, I know you have visions, I know you wrote it down, I know you have goals, but you always have to leave room for God because his plans are far greater than ours. The way that we want things to play out may not always work out in that way, and so that's why sometimes we have to be aware that things won't always go the way we plan. But most importantly, we have to leave room for God to work and for God to move, because you may have plans to move this way, to do things this way, but God has plans to do this and do that. And sometimes his plan may come with having to backtrack a little bit. And when you're taking steps back, it may look like you're falling down, it may look like you're pulling back, it may look like you're taking 30 steps backwards and there's no real comeback for it. But understand that with the pullback, when God pulls you back, right? When he pulls you back, it's because when he lets go, he's about to get you 20 steps ahead of where you even imagine. So understand that God is dealing with you sometimes like a rubber band. Sometimes you're the rubber band. You know how like you have a rubber band and you pull it back, the further you pull it back, the further it goes. The further you pull it back, the further it goes. So understand that God is a God of love. So sometimes when you feel, or if you feel like you're being pulled back, like, Lord, I was just making $20,000 a month, and now my business is going down. Now I'm making $2,000 a month. Lord, it seems like the relationship, we were doing so well, but now all we seem to do is fight. Lord, I feel like, my friendships, like we were doing so well, and now all it seems like it's like we're growing distance. Lord, I feel like my health, like I was just working out 5 days a week, but now for whatever reason, I'm only training 3 days a week. Understand something, that in your planning and in your doing, always leave room for God. Always leave room for adjustment, because listen, champions adjust. Champions adjust. And another thing is that in spite of what, we need to understand that I always pray. I say, God, your will, not mine. This is my plan, but Lord, ultimately, let it be your plan. Your plan and your will in my life. Because ultimately, as I'm over here thinking, but I want to make, I'm setting myself up to make 50 grand a month. Lord, you're preparing me to make 250,000 a month. Lord, you're preparing me to make $1 million a month. So even though I feel like things are like breaking down and I'm like, not everything is not in order, that's what it feels like. Just know, like, if that's you, just know that God is pulling you back. And what seems like a pullback is a setup for greatness. It's a setup to get you further. It's a setup so that you can skip the line. Because right now you're in the back of the line, but you're going to skip the line. You're going to skip the line. He's going to put you in a position to skip the line. So everyone that you thought was ahead of you is not really ahead of you. They just holding your place. They just holding your place. They just there. But when he positions you and he pulls you back for a second, it's to, number one, set you apart. Number two is to get your attention. And number three is to prepare you, because when he pulls back, he holds for a second. He keeps you there because there's something you need in that season, so that when he lets you go and he launches you to the next level, baby, the amount of levels you're going to skip, the amount of people you're going to skip. I love you, and I hope this word hit you in some way, because it definitely moved me. I was walking, and it was like literally like adjustment. God is not pulling you back because he doesn't love you. He's pulling you back because he's preparing you. Because when he lets you go, when he releases you to the next level, you are going to skip the line. You are going to be ahead. You're going to be leading. So, I love y'all. Have a great day and happy summer.